Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Good Show, episode number 45. We're into our Dota segment of the night, and to help us with that, we have the Statman himself, Bruno. How's it going, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
How are you, Hellspawn?
I forgot to put this on. I will do it soon.
I'm really happy to have Hellspawn at my side again. I think we haven't seen each other in the Good Show in about 2 months or so, maybe a little bit less.
Thanks, Bruno.
But it's also always...
I love sitting next to Bruno.
Yeah, it's a really nice experience of being countered. Everything I say, I get...
You can rely on Hellspawn
Yeah.
to provide the counterpoint.
Also, you do look very well in non-matching colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know. It's matching, but not matching.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like contrasting. That's
Yes,
the word.
good
Contrasting.
Agreed.
All right, you guys done bonding? We're going to move on then. So, Dota 2 changes that have actually come through this week is that the 6.78 has hit Dota 1 and the Dota 2 test client, and it brings a shit ton of changes, new heroes, lots of tweaks, just so much information to digest, actually. It's pages and pages long. So,
Okay.
I think everyone's, like, I just want to say before we get into this, I don't know what you planned for this, but everyone's already talked about it.
Yeah, that's
People
that's
have created
exactly
shows out of nowhere where it's like, 6.78 Dota 2 change show. You've even been on one of them.
Yeah, I talked with Cyberman.
Weppers has probably been on one of them.
Yeah, he was
as
on
well.
has been on one, yeah.
Aoi and Luminous had one
yeah,
today.
Synderen did one. Pyrian Flax was one
that
with
was,
you.
So, like...
I have the $1 million question. Is it that big and huge change to have that many shows?
I don't know, Bruno.
Is
Is it a big enough change to merit having that many shows?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is...
Revolution.
No, I mean, here's the
We're
thing,
playing
right?
League of Legends now.
Here's the thing. Some players, they are very highly valued by not only by the way they play, but also by the insight they bring into the game.
Yeah.
Most of the times it's warranted because they do understand the game. Sometimes it's just players that by being players, people respect them most. But I mean, in general, it's very, very... guys like Synderen and Papi are very, very widely known. Aoi also. And I don't want to leave anyone out. But there are lots of guys that... And people want to hear from them because when you see a change, it's different to see... Like, you can see this guy's armor increased by 1. And you say, that's what's 1 armor? What, I don't care.
It's huge.
And then this guy goes like, well, it is actually huge in the early game because now you can solo lane this guy and he can survive 6% more, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now this means
5
that...
more GPM.
Yeah, you can actually have the supports pulling more and blah. And they see the changes in ways that sometimes it comes to practice. But in theory, they are very clear with that. So everyone likes to hear them say... But, I mean, as James said...
I actually found it hilarious watching you guys explain stuff, and I actually knew the answers, and sometimes, no offense, there's a lot of information, I'm sure I would have struggled, but like Weppaz with the daytime and nighttime vision was one of them.
I wasn't there.
You went on that show, and then you had one as well where Pyrian Flax and...
Yeah,
and
I
even
remember that
Cyborg
one.
Matt didn't understand it, and you had to explain it,
Yeah.
and I was like, come on, this is...
Well, but I mean, I guess... I was never trying to go
I was
for... when we did it with Pyrian Flags, it was more trying to go with the simple approach, just like what does it mean, and not going for the pro analysis, because the pros are much better at that, of course, than me, Cyberman, and Pyrian Flags are. But yeah, it was kind of like a fun thing to do. But then again, I don't want to go too much into the details of what changed. Lots of Aghanim Scepter changes. There are 2 new heroes that are into Dota 1, but not in Dota 2.
Wait. With the Aghanim, can you buy... for Tiny another skin of the Aghanim?
You can buy as many Aghanims as you watch. You won't get more trees.
I want to buy another ultimate thing.
You want 2 trees, 1 in each hand.
No, he wants to buy an
laser
alternative skin to the Aghanim upgrade that Tiny gets when he gets his big
There's
club.
one Glacier skin, that's the only skin that exists for Tiny, and no, it doesn't have a different tree. So if you're good at graphic design, I recommend you to go to Maya or 3D Max or any other development tool, make a new custom tree, put it in the game.
The changes, are they like just stat-based or are like other...
It's
completely reswap?
No. It's, I mean,
the
abilities change.
Yeah. Okay.
I love
Every 6 months or so, you would say.
Yeah.
The game does get a nice rework, and it's normally autumn, and this is a huge... kind of next step in terms of what's going to change in how people play Dota 2.
We will see
and
more
not
agonies
in how
now.
they play Dota 2, but
We'll see more
You know
agonies
what I
in
mean.
heroes that weren't as strong, like Omni Knight and Necrolite, for example.
Omni Knight, that's good.
The thing is, I think that the patches, the reason they exist, or actually not the reason they exist, but they're actually the reason why a game like Dota or most ARTS, MOBAs,
like
whatever
this.
you want to call them, they keep existing. Like, there's no way Dota would have been relevant today if it was the exact same game it was
Yeah,
8 years ago. So what you do in terms of from the playing style and from the viewing style, you start when the patch first comes, you see people experimenting, but after 3-4 months, you see which heroes are the strongest one, and then you start seeing lots of Lifestealer, lots of Phantom Lancer, lots of Lone Druid, and then both as a viewer, because you keep seeing the same heroes,
you get bored of Lifestealer.
and as a player, because you always see the same guys picking the same heroes, it's like, oh, I really like playing Witch Doctor,
Yeah.
but I can't play Witch Doctor if like it's.
But now, off the top of my head, they've increased the range that you can cast
Maledict.
Maledict, which
Yeah,
is hugely
and
good
it's awesome.
That is fucking
because you
sick.
don't have to be on top. One of
YOLO
the
hit
things,
squad's gonna
I
roll
want to
again.
try in our TMM is completely irrelevant, but I want to try and get Necrolite in there.
Yeah.
Right? I want to
okay with that.
I want to put Darkseer mid, and I want to put Necrolite jungle.
Necrolite jungle, okay.
Yeah. Just because I think if you put Darkseer mid, if you're able to get an Iron Shell off every once in a while on the Radiant side to your Necrolite and jungle, you'll easily be able to clear camps quickly, get a Soul Ring, spam it down, get the regen back up after you clear waves, and then all of a sudden you've got Necrolite with Aghanim's, no buyback. Be fantastic.
So you
Trans.
take the Necrolite to the lane just to get an Iron Shell, and you go
And
back
then
to
you
the
use
jungle.
it.
This is how big the new Dota.
Well, it's nothing to do with the change of Necrolite, because really it's just the Aghanims. But I am happy that Axe got a small buff, because he's my favourite hero.
Yeah. He
And
spins
I will
a lot
now be
faster
able
now.
to spin more when I go mid, because I never lose mid with Axe. It's just a fact. I fuck
Well, you've
people
never
up.
lost a game.
People are saying you're retarded.
Yeah, I know it's retarded, but I just want to try it. But I actually... Nah, okay.
We will see.
I
if
like
one
re-
ga-
I like
one-
retarded shit,
One of those
though.
games.
Yeah,
But
Necrolite jungle.
I would say I like more when the meta is changing the game than a patch changing the game, because for me
Okay.
it's like I watched Dota this week.
What does it mean that they
And
made
wait. I watched Dota this week. Then I watched Dota the next week, and then I see, oh, this team did this that worked. In next week, it doesn't work because the other team is like countering it because the meta is developing. Then it comes a fucking patch, and you don't know which game you're watching anymore, because the sucky hero is the good hero or the bad hero. The item that was good is bad, the bad item is good, and it's like, I'm like, fuck this! Takes me 3 months to understand what's going on.
Absolutely. I'm completely
What
agree
is
with
fans laughing at so much? He's lost his shit.
You do.
you. No.
This is meta.
Meta.
Yeah.
Tomato, tomato. All right.
yeah.
Bruno.
Bruno doesn't agree
Care
at
to
all.
elaborate on
No.
this?
He
I mean,
loves patches.
I understand where you come from, but it's a game of numbers.
That was so
It's a
sweet.
game of rock, paper, scissors, where there's no clear A beats B, beats C, C beats A. Sometimes rock can't be beaten easily, or beating
I
rock
agree.
makes that you have to make such a commitment that it's very unappealing to watch. So patches normally solve that problem by shaking things.
Dota should be the most balanced game.
And the reason it's the most balanced game is because there are 2 patches a year, not 30. And these 2 patches are doing something which is really interesting. First, they address the problems, but the philosophy over the changes is not nerf what's strong, buff what's weak.
Yeah.
But actually, if this hero is particularly strong at this, let's leave his strength and make him weaker somewhere else. So that it's not, oh, Phantom Lancer makes so many illusions, that's OP. So, well, they will not make it create less illusions. They will make him maybe weaker in the early stage. Maybe the illusions deal a little bit
Or
more
they make
damage.
Earthshaker ultimate act as the illusions are also heroes.
Yeah, for example, when you
Which
have
is-
And let's take some Mefa.
What?
Mefa. That's a new word. Mefa.
Don't give in, Hellspawn. Say it however the fuck you want.
But yeah, I mean, I understand where you come from. The thing is, after 6 months, there's not much you can innovate. I'm surprised that the tree got popular so late. Do you know the tree and protector?
Exactly. That's one of those. Oh, it's in now. Like, and for me, it was it's called Visage.
Visage or Visage.
Visage. In G1 League. I hadn't seen it played in competitive games before that almost.
But now it's.
You didn't need a patch for that?
It was the most picked hero, I think.
Yeah, more or less.
In the East scene.
During
And that's really interesting. But yeah, patches are not bad. You have to understand. You have to embrace the philosophy of the patch.
It's like counselling. It's like Hellspawn's like, I don't like change. And you're like, no, change is good. Change is.
But this one I don't. Ban and pick changes.
Okay.
Like they've changed a few times in Dota 2 so far.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, can't they just come up with a good formula from the beginning? Wasn't the old formula good? And what the fuck are they changing it again? Because
He's a troll, mate, this guy.
No,
he's
he's
like
not, he's
purposely
serious.
asking questions to inflame me. No.
Well, please contain your passion, Bruno.
English out there is amazing.
I'm going to go quickly through the bans. At the beginning of Dota 2, it was 2 and 2. 2 bans first, then 3 picks, and 2 bans. It was only 4 bans because there were only about 50 heroes. So
40,
instead of
40.
5, they went with 4. Even when in Dota 1, you still had 5 bans. But they just had 4 bans because if there were 5 from each side, you were banning 10 heroes total.
Yeah, that's what I get.
Then they added the first, like, they made it 3-2. Or for the audience, it's more like 3-2. The problem with the problem with 3-2 was that you banned 6 heroes at the beginning, so there were lots of heroes that never would see play just because they were odd to ban, and people would ban them no matter what, even if they weren't really strong. Just I don't want to play Lycan, so they ban Lycan all the time, and because there were 6 bans there, Lycan was always getting banned, and no one could actually get the real notion whether the hero was strong or weak. And then it happened that when you actually saw
Like
Lycan play,
Batrider almost always
Yeah.
banned.
when you see Lycan's win rate back then, it was not particularly high. It was something like 53, 55%, which is above 50%, but it was not 70%, right? So I said maybe if we had less, I think this is the idea, maybe if we have less bans at the beginning, we will see more of these heroes and make people realize that they're not really imbalanced. So still leaving 2 bans at the beginning and 3 bans at the end, or the other way, makes it so you still have the same amount of bans, but you have less at the beginning.
But
Now this created another problem, Hellspawn.
yeah, oh sorry, yeah.
The problem that it created is that because there were so few bans, and then you had 3 picks for each team, it became very common to have the same cores, lineups. Because, okay, you remove the Wisp, you
really
remove the
control
Batrider, and then you have always Lifestealer, Magnus, Lone Druid. Gyrocopter, Shadow Demon, Lone Druid again, because he's really cool. And you have the things that were always in, like, okay, let's rock instead of...
It could only counter to take something away from the team to choose it on your own and not ban it away.
Yeah, so this new change means that you still get the 2 bans at the beginning, only 2, not more than 2. But then you have 3, you don't have 3 picks, you have only 2 picks, and then 2 bans, making it so that you can't actually pick your whole core of 3 key heroes at the beginning.
2-2-2.
Yeah, 2-2-2, 2-1-1. That's how it is. Like 2 bans, 2 picks. 2 bans, 2 picks, 1 ban, 1 pick. So what this means is that you can get the first 2 after the first 2 bans, but after that you have a new round of bans. So it's now really hard to get the 3 core heroes that you want. So this makes it harder to actually pick. Harder means that the smartest drafter will get the better deal. I've been talking with...
Is this going more to drafting?
Yes.
God damn it.
This actually makes the draft shorter, which is also cool as well.
But
Because they changed the amount of time you get
yeah.
for each pick. So it means that you drop about 2 minutes, a little bit less.
That's
1
good,
minute
that's
and a
good.
half. So, you know, that's one of the worst things of actually watching Dota 2 is as interesting as the
You
ban and
hype
pick
it up and now the match starts and then you
And then
wait for
you-
50
exactly.
minutes. And then you got a guy like Robert Allen who has like a interest span of like 2 seconds, and then after 5 seconds it's like, fuck this game, there's no action, and then he goes away.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the problem, and making it shorter is always good.
But you need to keep it competitive.
But you need to keep it competitive, exactly. You cannot make it just like, oh, now, pick, you have 5 seconds, go. because it doesn't make sense. It
It's
doesn't
like you
reward.
run into a store, you get 1 minute to grab as much stuff as you can.
Yeah.
And run out.
Maybe
I
Have we
love
spoken
those
of this
game
in the
shows.
past? Have we not spoken of this in the past? Like, what would it be like if you were actually having that sort of thing, that preparation going into
do you want to jump into the news that Bruno probably hasn't heard yet because he's on the show?
No, but wait, stop. I have one more question.
Oh, it came out on Dota 2 already.
Bruno, Dota 1
Mm-hmm.
was really, really competitive.
Yeah.
So if you go back 3 to 4 years
Mhm.
before Dota 2,
Yeah.
why did that kind of pick work and it doesn't work now because we had to change it? I don't get it.
It's not working. Sometimes something doesn't need to be broken for you to fix it. It's like, why do you keep improving DreamHack? If it worked last time, last winter was okay.
So what you say is like, if you go 4 years ago, Dota 1, this change would have been, if it's a good change, was a good at that point too.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. They just figure out more.
Exactly. You just
Good dice
it's
roll.
much easier now that you have Dota 2, where you can actually store every single replay, where you can have every pro game to actually
More
look at
database.
it. Yeah, exactly. You can now look at it in the same way.
Now he knows.
Yeah, this is like, and it's because it's bigger now, because Dota 1 didn't have the big prize pools and the big competitive scene that Dota 2 has. It's much easier now to actually go and talk to the pros and like, what do you think about this? Go talk to the organization. What do you think about this?
So anyway, you two
I
are like a
understand.
comedy duo a comedy duo in like a shows back in. They always had the straight guy
Yeah.
and then the funny guy, and the straight guy would always set up the funny guy. I'm not sure which one's which, but this is what's happening over there to me. Anyway, you knew this before it
Yeah.
had got announced, but yeah, Quantic pick up DD Dota.
Yep.
Oof, that's a good pick.
Quantic picks up DD Dota. Quantic.
Yeah, we can come to some of the screen. We can
But
have a
didn't
look.
they fire a team? Or?
Didn't they?
Press the button.
Well, Quantic, they had
Wait,
a US team.
do they have more players?
Yeah, they do. This is the
But it's
thing.
managers and maybe a
No, it's just the two managers. It's
Shiva
just
is
Shiva
one
and,
of the managers.
Shiva and Drunking are the two managers from DD.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why they have two, but they have two. Both
Well,
cool,
they
very
have
cool
to,
guys.
but
they have
it's,
to.
it's a tad bit misleading that they didn't set them apart, perhaps.
Yeah. But anyways, it's the first 5 guys. Govlak, Silent, Fanzi, Sokshka, and Fakimad. The 3 Frenchies, the Russian and the Ukrainian. I think it was expected. They were announcing... they've been talking a long time ago that they would have a sponsor coming around. No one really knew who it was. People were saying Curse, people were saying SK, people were saying lots of different sponsors. It ended up being Quantic. Quantic, a team that actually has experience with Dota 2 in the past. I think they had one team back last year where Korok was there, painted gold, I think Way Too Sexy, and a few more other guys. Eventually the team, the organization dropped Dota 2 back then.
No, the organization died.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I know they dropped Dota 2, but I don't know if it died. Clearly they're not dead, otherwise
Well,
they came back.
They
Zombie
died
Quantic.
and then they came back.
They're
Like
called
a phoenix from the ashes.
Quantic Zombie or something when
Zombie
they came
Quantic,
back. Yeah. That was because they did go away.
Phoenix does sound cooler though.
Yeah.
They had like 2 investors that were really interested in StarCraft, but they were like personal kind of investors, if you know what I mean, like lots
Yeah.
of money, and then they did lots of cool shit. And I think Mark, the guy that runs it, we had it on the show a while ago, but yeah, they came back, and it's a really big pickup for them. So
I mean, arguably, it's the only, with Kaipi, it's the only team in Dota 2, big team, that didn't have a sponsor. And inarguably, DD Dota is bigger than Kaipi. Because as much as people say that RTC is really cool and Eternal Envy and Come With Me and all the guys that are in there, DD Dota is going to the international. Even if it's to play the wild card, they proved themselves that they're actually doing very well. So very good for them.
and Hellspawn, what do you think about the fact that Kebab isn't on the roster?
I didn't get the joke, so no, he's not there.
Okay, no, it's okay. It's
Can you-
okay.
can you
You're
explain?
you're reading the document. No, there was a misunderstanding with where they were about to sign a team with Kebab. Kebab was not in the team. It was a fake signature.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And no, it is not that team. So they were about,
It's not the team that Kebab was on, but he was not on.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not that team. It's
Not
DD
not the
Dota.
team.
So
Yeah,
good
that-
for DD Dota, and yeah. We'll see them at DreamHack Summer, right?
Yes.
We will see them at DreamHack Summer.
And the international.
And the international.
I'm so happy Hellspawn's back. All right, let's keep moving on here.
No, I don't get anything. Type in a document or something.
Why
like
is this
in
in
a
here?
communication. I love when trans is like mimic things. It's like
Oh, this is great. Chaz, just come over to my screen real quick.
What's on your screen?
No, it's just like Bruno's face. It's perfect. Okay, let's keep going.
And you'll wonder why he doesn't come on the show.
All right, LGD
Silly pictures.
China wins Eastern qualifiers. Rattlesnake takes out Adebisi Gaming and will go up against DD Dota for the last spot at TI3. So DD Dota now happen to be Quantic. So
Yeah.
that transfers over.
That transfers over, yeah.
Okay, so qualify.
I think it's a great storyline. LGD formerly invited one of actually the first teams to be invited. Well, the first teams were IG and someone else, but LGD was one of the one in the second
one of the
batch
initial
of
invites, yeah.
invites. They were by any standards going to be a definitely invite because there were some teams that you would say, well, they're not doing some very well. Maybe they get there, maybe they don't get there. People were wondering about Virtus Pro. People were wondering about whether EG was going to get invited or not. But LGD was out of the question, 100% invited. Now they had this difference with one of their players where they decided to drop a player.
yeah. Was that DD or DD long?
Long DD. The long DD. And they go and say, well, we have to change this player. And is it okay if we change this player and we're going to the international? And Valve's like, no. If you change a player, you have to go. I mean, you're not invited anymore. And this also makes sense because you can say, but it's going back to the team. They were going back to DD, which was the team that participated in the 2012 international. But it's really hard to draw the line if you actually say, okay, you can actually do it. Then what stops another team saying, can I actually drop this guy and get Dandy on my team? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's snowballing. It's really hard to draw the line. So they say, no, you have to play the qualifiers. And now people were wondering, LGD probably will have to dominate everyone in the qualifiers. But in came the Dota 2 Super League, which is a tournament that's running right now, which is really cool. And LGD China played there and lost pretty bad to a few teams, namely Tongfu and BT Gaming. So people were saying, now it's interesting because LGD China, 100% invited, now going to the qualifiers and losing to some of the teams that one replaced them and one was the other hot team to qualify, will they be able to pull it through? So they went pretty well during the first stage, where they actually played some weaker teams, and they got to the playoff stage, which was played this week, and they were facing the other three strong Chinese teams. Fortunately for them, they soared along. They beat Rising Stars, BT Gaming, and then Rattlesnake 3-0, showing everybody that they are the deserving team to go to TA3. No matter if they were invited, they went through the qualifiers. They said, if we want to beat everyone, if we want to win the international, we have to beat everyone, and that includes all of the qualifiers teams, which they did. They didn't lose a game in the first round. They did lose games in the playoff, but they won the final 3-0 against Rattlesnake, completely outclassing them. So this proves that LGD China is not only deserving of a spot, but also one of the best teams in the competition, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. But they didn't do that well at G1 League either, if I don't recall. G1 League?
Yeah, G1 League.
They didn't do that well.
They didn't do particularly well.
No.
They ended up second.
Did they come second?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, against Alliance.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot that. I even watched the games. What the hell?
Yeah.
So many Dota, so much Dota. That was my input from that. No, but I think they skill-wise for sure they should have been invited. So to me, it was stupid they were not, but I understand why they were not. So good they performed.
Yeah. So looking forward to see more of them at the international and also future competitions that will be coming very soon. They're still in the Dota 2 Super League. I think they're not participating on the Red Bull League. Someone will chat, maybe will correct me if I'm mistaken, but I don't think they're participating there. But there will be other tournaments from here to the international where we'll be able to see the full extent of LGD Gaming's strength.
Yeah, I mean, from last international, most people thought that LGD would win, and some claim that because of their long second day or what it was, that's the reason they lost it, because they didn't have the stamina to play so many good games in a row. So we will see. I think they are good contenders.
I think that's not an excuse for a pro player.
No, but it was a reason many claimed.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or said.
What's come
What-
with me
yeah,
then?
what-
He posted it. What was his sister picture in fucking chat?
Oh,
What?
come with me.
Have you looked at the chat for the past 2 fucking
I can't fucking load it because your site is shit.
No, load it now. Or just
Weber's
just
sister
let it
is
go.
really
You can go
nice.
to beta,
Pretty
that's
nice.
Twitch
Actually,
TV.
no, you're better when you're not watching chat, Semmler. Just
Shut the fuck up.
stay there.
Good job, come with me. Come with me was trying to hit on Weppers' sister and the chick with her. And Scriff was over there just hanging out with him, and basically, come with me was like telling Scriff to stop cock blocking him, but the girls had asked Scriff to come over there to save him, to save them. Sorry, come with me.
Poor come with me.
Yeah.
But talking about international and so on and so forth, I agree with Gods. I think actually DK might be the strongest Chinese team at the international. I think they have a good curve, and I think that they can actually be really strong once again.
I think it's impossible to say. I mean, even IG weren't doing so hot last year.
No, true.
Before the international. They weren't doing bad. I mean, not probably as bad as they did at this G1 League finals. But they weren't doing so hot. And that's the thing with the Chinese team. It's all about motivation and preparation. They do not have as many tournaments as the Western scene has. Recently, I've been just grabbing some stats on teams and players because that's kind of what I do. And I was getting information on the year 2013. And when I was looking at, for example, I grabbed a random player and I was like, okay, most played hero, win rates. And I see someone like Loda, and I see, okay, he played Gyrocopter 37 times this year. And that's his most played heroes, 37 times. And then I go to Zhou, and his most played hero is Lifestealer with 6 times. And that's just because they play so, I mean, just a few games. They have G1 League, G League, the Super League that started now, and that's pretty much it.
Which subject are we on? I just
LGD, well, it's
Yeah,
just...
LGD China in terms of like, what
Yeah,
they've
they
been
have
playing.
so few tournaments that it's really hard for them to be adapted week by week. But come a big tournament like the international, rest assured that they will go through every single match from the Western scene. They will know how everyone plays. And that's what Alliance did. And props to Alliance for winning that. Because
Big shout out.
what they did was they knew how every single team played. And they didn't play the same thing twice. They were very good at... we talked about this last week, but they did so great knowing how everyone played and showing their strategies that the Chinese teams couldn't figure it out, and they had figured out all the Chinese teams. And that's what I think the Chinese teams will try to do by next...
What's going on?
Trans is fucking up with chat. Trans, what did you do?
What did you do? Trans... You opened a screamer!
Oh,
Again!
What did you do?
Jesus
What
Christ!
did you do? What did you
What
do?
is that? You opened the screamer.
Trans, can you stop
The screamer.
clicking?
Yeah, a link that when you click it screams like super
Oh,
loud.
so they get it out on
They
stream?
told me again.
They get it out on the stream?
Yeah.
Fucking you.
I apologize to viewers in the
It
behalf
was going
of
so
trans.
nice today. Somebody had to troll me.
But to end this point, I think it's really big that VG didn't go through. And the Rattlesnakes, I don't know anything actually about Rattlesnakes. But for me, I mean, what's it called? ZGMG?
ZSMJ.
See,
Close enough.
that guy who's a legend and he's back. He got from the B team to the A team and they failed now.
Yeah, and CTY was there, which is also one of the favorites in the RTC of the East, as some people like to call him.
He plays a lot of Clockwork mid, right?
What?
CTY? He plays a lot
Yeah,
of
he plays
Clockwork
everything and he plays it really well. He did play Clockwork Mill, which is really fun to
Yeah.
see. He's a very high skilled player, very talented at 1v1. And he's very young. He's 17-year-old, I think. So even if he couldn't make it this time, probably we'll see him in the future and he'll be able to show what he's worth. Let's remember, Dandy at 17 was not as impressive as he is now. So maybe this player can actually keep developing and grow to his full potential.
Right. And on that note, we're going to keep moving on now to players who are a little bit less fortunate with recent developments. Dreams have decided to boot Jules and Aoi,
Yeah.
and JYC has departed the team as well.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Okay, for those of you who don't know or who don't remember, Dreams was the last team to be invited to qualifiers. It's
Yep.
really weird to say invited to qualifiers, but they were invited to qualifiers when Neo Illusion International had to drop because of, again, their team having a roster change. So Dreams was invited instead, and people will probably remember them because of their Facebook post saying, we will trash everyone that will cross, we'll show that we're better than every team invited or qualified. One.
And they
And
got
B,
destroyed.
losing 26-0 against LGD in one game, being completely destroyed. I think they didn't even win a game. Maybe they did win one game, but they lost both their matches and were eliminated on the first round. So all this pride and cockiness didn't prove to be okay. And maybe because they were so exposed to the international pressure, they decided to make some changes in the team. And they dropped Jules and Aoi, which Jules, I have to say, is one of the most charismatic and most loved Pinoy players. He's a dandy of Filipino. I mean, the amount of fascination that the Pinoy public has over to him is absolutely amazing. And people will have, I mean, this is big for the Pinoy audience. Not too much for us, of course. But this will probably mean that they will try to rejoin another of the Pinoy teams. Mineski is one of the possibilities. We'll see what happens with that. Jules used to play for Mineski a long, long time ago, and there are other teams that might have a chance as well. But sad for Dreams, maybe good in the end for Pinoy Dota because we'll see more competitive teams, and also Ekiri. I think we're overdoing it.
Other sad news, I suppose, is that Absolute Legends have dropped their Danish Dota 2 squad as well. So changes, I mean, seems like every week we're talking about team changes, though. So this time around, Absolute Legends decided to do away with them.
Oh, I mean, the good thing is that they will, or actually the two good things, is that A, they will still play together.
As the
along with
team
that,
Space.
their manager, the team name is Space as of now. They're probably looking for a new sponsor. This is a very nice team. They got qualified to DreamHack Summer.
Yep.
They were one of the last teams to qualify, so they will be going there as well if they do perform well. And they did perform interesting, not particularly well, but interestingly during the Western qualifiers as well, where they beat Rockskis in the first game and then proceeded to just fall over. If they have a good DreamHack Summer, they might get a new sponsor. Interestingly, as I said before, they not only keep playing, they retain their manager. Samology. He's a great guy, and he says, I know this team, I like this team, I'll keep being with them. So they will, he will stay with them, and hopefully, because they have the ability to do so, and they have the talent, they will find a new sponsor soon.
And also, I mean, Absolute Legends has been an organization in a lot of trouble and heat, especially when they released StarCraft 2 players. So maybe this wasn't so unexpected.
And speaking of DreamHack, you mentioned that earlier. We have the full DreamHack list of teams that have actually been invited. There's still the BYOC qualifier spots that are open, so those are the last two, the 15th and 16th slots of the tournament. However, the rest of it has been filled out now. And we actually have it here on GhostGamers.net. Go ahead and blow this up for you guys so you can see it.
Just want to let you guys know, since I'm not doing anything at this DreamHack, I'm trying to convince QPad to play and have me and Squiff as stand-ins and qualify for the BYOC and win the whole...
Trance shitting all over that dream.
Back to the news now.
Well, yeah, fuck you, Chance.
So the teams that we have here, we'll go ahead and read off the 14 of them for the podcast's sake. Alliance, Team Dignitas, Team Liquid, Navi, Fnatic EU, Evil Geniuses, Mouse Sports, Virtus Pro, DD Dota, TCM Gaming, 4 Friends plus Krilly, Space, which is of course X Absolute Legends, Lions Pride, and Ubost Gaming. So those are the 14 teams that we're going to have actually competing who have been invited or have qualified otherwise.
Yeah.
And if not, the BYOC qualifiers
Yep.
are still left over, as is with every DreamHack tournament.
I'm gonna defer to Hellspawn here. But I'm gonna actually ask you a few things about the tournament because you probably know that better than I do. I think
Maybe not.
this is the first time DreamHack does a 16-team Dota 2 tournament.
No, I think we've had it all the time.
Last time it was-
DreamHack Winter 2011. It was 8 teams, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have had 16 teams.
16 teams. Oh, yeah, exactly. Like in winter 2012, it was 16 teams as well.
Yeah, and summer too, I think.
Do you think we've seen, for example, in other leagues or in other LAN tournaments favoring a smaller amount of teams? We see Statman bringing just 4 teams to the finals. Even the Chinese leagues normally do 8 teams.
Yeah.
What do you think of what are the pros and cons of having 16 teams in a LAN as opposed to having 8 or less?
I mean, we had a discussion, and I wouldn't say it was close to have 8 teams, but it was for sure an option, and also have 12 teams. I think what I like with DreamHack is that we have that storyline that anyone can participate and anyone can win, and I think that in the way that having both the DreamHack Winter champions, who also became the DreamHack Invitational champions, therefore Dignitas invited, have a few of the best teams invited, and also having open online qualifiers together with BioC qualifiers makes that, yeah, for sure, anyone has the chance to win a tournament, and I think that that's like what DreamHack a core value. It's also a traditional DreamHack format with invites, qualifiers, and BioC qualifiers. I think that the weak part is maybe that in Dota, when we come at least to the Western scene, maybe some of these teams will actually not have a chance. Because the difference in Dota is maybe greater than in some other games.
Some other games like?
Let's say StarCraft. If you any one of the top 16 could have win the tournament when you go into the tournament, or I think that Counter-Strike in 1.6 prior to this was also the same, that we had at least almost all the 16 teams could win. So maybe it's a big margin, but I also would say that 2011, 2013, I think that that's shrinking. So I see that like DD Dota, for example, or I can also see that Absolute Legends, they can defeat one of the bigger top teams and actually make it to playoffs and maybe make it all the way. I can see it happen, but I think it's still not so likely. And I think that the advantage of having a small tournament is, of course, that giving better coverage from the mainstreams, giving more exposure, you can build maybe a storyline easier and like build it around these teams. When you have 16 teams, it's not as easy. Then it's more like getting the tournament run in a good way and in a fast way and in a...
Oh, that's a job for the hosts and the commentators as well, right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm seeing 3 Swedish teams already in here. We have Alliance, we have TCM, and we have 4 Friends per Skrilley. Possibly 2 more from the BYOC because...
Possible. I mean, you should remember that Synderen won 2011 together with 4 Swedish players, I think it was.
While competing from the BYOC.
Yes, so they came there, BYOC, and then won the tournament, which is of course a great storyline. I mean, Mana in StarCraft 2 did the same in 2010 in StarCraft 2. So
it'd be really nice to see if... I really don't think that a team coming from BYOC will be able to beat
so
Navi
either, actually.
and
Unfortunately.
Alliance, but it will be nice to see if someone can at least try to repeat this storyline. And I think that wraps up with DreamHack Summer, except for Hellspawn, which has something to say.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Are you sure you want to do it on this show? The show's a bit shitty.
No, but I think...
Go.
Oh, Trans is so angry
He's
now.
so angry.
That was like a
and
joke.
probably
Trans.
I'm angry too because I should have prepared some news item. I guess it will be up tomorrow. But I thought that as I'm back here in the good studio, it's time to also release the coverage of DreamHack Ass's ROG Dota 2 tournament at DreamHack Summer. So actually the good studio will run the production, and we're gonna have Bruno over here as the expert, and you know what he knows with the map and everything like that. That's gonna be at DreamHack Summer. And of course...
Oh shit, is it? Okay.
Oops.
How,
Yeah,
we're bringing the map.
Wait, we have to drive
we're bringing the map.
Okay.
Is the map going to survive?
And also, of course, we're gonna have James over there. hosting and maybe even commentating some games if he's in that mood. And of course,
So not playing? No BYOC?
No.
I think
BYOC.
he can do all the free actually.
I think it would be really cruel to just let him play in the BOC. Somehow, miraculously,
Qualify.
He pulls those guys that call themselves pro from Panda team to an actual tournament, and then he has to let it all go and come and cast.
Like, why wouldn't you let me play in the BYOC? I've got nothing else to do. And also, I'll have like Wagger come guest cast and shit when we lose.
Yeah. Anyway,
Come on, let me play.
I think that a lot of people,
BOC means bring your fucking.
Yeah, I know. I'll bring my own
Game.
PC.
And what
these guys. Anyway, I think that anyone who remembers DreamHack Winter was a great Dota 2 show. So you know what James can deliver together with Bruno. But of course, we're gonna have Draskell back together with AC, who we bring in for the United States. So I'm really excited to have
First
AC.
time in Europe.
First time at DreamHack, first time at Europe, and I also think that outside of the international, it's the first time it's a big
At a LAN event.
At the LAN event. So that's gonna be really cool. Of course, we're gonna have covered the other games that not this Quadro we cover. Good part also is that DreamHack Summer gonna have the tournament area and the casting desk together with the viewing area, so we'll be able to see all the games and see James and Bruno on a big screen. You will also have the players really close, so actually I think that they're going to be more integrated into the stream, maybe come and like pre and post interviews, but also having maybe some puppet magic in the stream, casting a game or two with some of the guys. So I think that this summer might be the best Dota ever.
Fantastic.
I'm
Yeah,
hyped.
I'm really excited to see AC and Draskell cast again together at LAN. They haven't done that since the international, and this is AC's first time in Europe, and we all kind of expected that he might be coming over to Europe this year. And
You've
then-
talked to him in the past and you told him.
I didn't have to fight. I recommended it, and then Hellspawn was like, yeah, okay, yeah, sounds good, and it was nice for Draskell as well to be able to do it, so... and then, yeah.
What you talk about Draskell?
Yeah, it's nice for Draskell that AC's coming over to cast together because they're
They know
a
each
good
other very
combo.
well.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's fair still to commentate about it as Toby will not be at DreamHack Summer casting, which is sad. I would say I love Toby. Toby knows that too. The main reason for it is because we're bringing AC, and it's several reasons. One is actually to have a new face, which I think always is great.
Well, you always do that at DreamHack for
StarCraft. I think we've had
Yeah.
maybe 10 or 15 faces. Also, is because Draskell and AC have been casting before prior to this and done a really cool job. So, but that doesn't mean I'm sure Toby will be at the DreamHack event. Maybe not this year. Hopefully this year. DreamHack Winter is coming also. So I mean, maybe some other Dota is coming up. So I think that Toby will be very close to DreamHack working with us.
Well, Sundance is talking to him.
Yeah, he might steal it from you.
Sundance is talking to
Sundance.
Toby.
No, fuck. I want to have Toby.
But
Not
now you
Sundance.
have to fight for him
Yeah.
with Sundance. How do you see yourself? He's
To be
fighting
honest, in all
one-on-one.
fairness,
Uno on
Hellspawn,
uno.
his favourite commentator at LAN event, I think, is Toby, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
And when I recommended we do AC because it's like a change and it's something new and fresh, you were like, you wanted Toby.
nah, it was not like that. It's just that I love working with Toby, but it's many reasons, and I think it's always great to have a new, fresh face of it. Like, I think it's good to mix it up. So I don't think I'm not sad in that regard, but I like to work with Toby, and I think he's a great caster, and I know that he will do great with DreamHack in the future. So I just want to say that.
Yeah, I'm
Just
excited
there.
for AC though. First time over in Europe. I think he's going to really
Yeah.
enjoy it, and I think there's a lot of fans over here that would really like to be able to meet him because a lot of people from Sweden aren't going to be able to get to the international and meet everybody there. So it's a really cool thing for AC. So we hope he has a good time with us. We're trying to make it horrible on him. We're making cast a lot, and if he pisses us off, we're making cast with weapons. Why'd you laugh at that?
Because I found it really funny to see AC and Wepas at the same time, with AC talking and Wepas saying yeah.
No,
Yep.
No, he won't be there. Like Wepas, AC will be here in terms of voice and tone, and Wepas will be, like there. Like he just Yeah.
That would be really funny, yeah. Like AC's radio voice.
Yeah.
And the weapons, here we can see the tables, nothing doing.
Really, really good.
We love Webpers. I think
We
Webpers
do.
is going to be helping with production, observing, but we might see if we get him on the casting desk as well. He's got some time, so we're trying just bring you all the tournament games the best we can. I know there's going to be 2 games simultaneously, so there might be some other streams handling some stuff. But overall, we do our best, and I'll probably be in the finals, so you'll be able to see me with the QPAD Red Pandas. I'm thinking of playing support and mid.
I'll do play-by-play that game.
Yes.
And I would just like to make a last part of this, and that's a big shout out to Asus ROG, and Plantronics Gamecom for actually bringing in the hard cash. I mean, it's the biggest Dota 2 prize pool ever at DreamHack. It's 300,000 Swedish crowns, and also make it possible to have a nice viewing area and bring in the good studio. So just want to give a shout out to those sponsors to make it happen, because without it wouldn't be probably any Dota DreamHack at all if we didn't have the great sponsors. So.
Yeah, Asus ROG, it's really nice. It's actually their first time in Dota 2 as
Yeah.
well. So make sure, there's probably going to be some Facebook promotions for Asus ROG, so make sure you do support them. They're a company that are quite methodical about where they go and why. So everyone in Asus ROG got pretty used to StarCraft 2 is a success. So make sure we can show them over the course of DreamHack Summer that Dota 2 is also a community worth their time, and hopefully they come back and do more. So we worked with them before, and it's always been good. So also though, I'm like anybody that's got Sing's Twitter account. What's his Twitter account?
Sing2x, yeah.
Yeah. Can you message at Sing2x, because basically the reason is I'm not allowed to play with the team is because Sing thinks I'm shit. So tweet at Sing2x, play with Squiff and Too Good in the BYOC, you'll win for sure. Just something like that. Tell him how good I am. I could probably take over mid, but message Sing, and then basically just tell him if he doesn't play with me, he's getting kicked out of the house. And yeah, serious.
But would you really put yourself in mid when you have Sing in the team?
Huh?
He'll make Sing support him.
No. Well, I'll put Sing, I don't know, like, the thing is, I could probably replace anybody in that team in a position, because they're all pretty bad. So it's just about where I want to play, not as in who's the weakest link. But I just figure I'll be the kind of sticky glue that binds the team.
That's important.
And
You need
Swift.
to have that in all teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we done?
No, because now it's time to hear from the Statman. Statman, what do you got for us this week?
Today it's a very interesting day for stats because, as probably some of you heard, today the Dota 2 new patch comes into play, which means that everything.
Today?
Yeah, it is today. The test came yesterday. It only makes sense that today comes the proper patch.
Let me guess. This means that last week's stats don't mean the shit.
No, that means that last week's stats are the most mature stats that we'll see for quite a long time. Because it means that this is the culmination, the apex of
Exam.
exactly of so many months of toying with 677.
This is how we remember that patch.
Yes. So, who was picked and banned at the end of that patch? A hero that disappeared from the most picked was Lifestealer. Lifestealer used to be top 3 picks. Now he's the second most banned hero with 47 bans. And Mingles is going to eat my stat. Mingles just wants him. Hey, Mingles.
She likes.
So the most banned heroes are right now the Wisp, Lifestealer, and Bat Rider. I think Wisp is almost a permaban in most games. While the most picked heroes are Shadow Demon, Gyrocopter, and Rubik. Gyrocopter seems to be in this situation where he's not as strong as to be deserved a first ban all the time, but people seem to try to go for him as a hero that works in the tri-lane, in the offensive tri-lane, and also as a solo save laner. As for players, we have to go again and again on Black, because he has been averaging 644 gold per minute in games and 629 experience per minute, which is a lot. I also want to point out Sylar, which combined Sylar from LGD, which combining the G1 League and the qualifiers, he averages just 1.5 deaths a game. And most surprisingly, and this actually, I'll have to go back at this because I'll be honest, I was doing this just minutes before coming into the show. But something that struck me as surprising was that Kurokai, the 5-player from Navi, averaged 9.8 kills a match in his last 5 matches.
Wow.
So I have to see what happened there because that's a lot. Maybe I did something wrong, maybe I can't do maths, but if I am okay, if I am right, just go and check something from Navi's last 5 matches because he was playing amazingly well.
Nuke.
Yeah. So that's it for players. I'm gonna give Kurokai the player of the week just because of that fact. Talking about hot or not in terms of teams, which is the last thing we do with stats. For the hot teams, we have Mouse Sports, which has been doing amazingly well after the qualifying for the international. They're 15-3 in games.
Whoa. That's insane.
Insane in the last week.
Yeah.
They're doing so well in all of the competitions they're playing. They're also playing the defense. We didn't mention the defense, but the defense started right now, and they're doing
that's
group
the 4th
stages.
defense,
Number 4.
right?
The number 4th,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's a very. I really like the changes, and it's going very fast paced. So just tune into the defense and watch very cool games. But Mouse Wars combining that, combining Star Ladder, combining the Premier League, and all the tournaments they're playing right now, are doing very well. 15-3. They took Series versus Alliance. They're doing excellently well, and they have to be happy about it.
In the Western world, it feels like Mouse, from the invitationals came out for TI, feels like that team that maybe has the best curve.
It's too early to tell. Last year,
but, like,
MTW was
the
doing very well,
improvement.
and then they choked. So I don't want to jinx these guys, and I hope I really like them, and I'm friends with most of them. So I really hope they keep going, but do not feel okay with what you're doing right now. You still have to improve. Do not think, okay, we're good, now we're going to the ETI and get top 4, because you'll need to work harder just because you need to keep up this form. So for the not teams of the week, a Hall of Shame, Cupid. But other than Cupid, because...
Cupid what?
No, Cupid was not playing very well last week, mostly because of that guy right there.
You played official games, right?
Yeah, it's
No, the thing is...
I think you played official games, right?
Yeah, but they didn't have anyone else, right? So my excuse was, like, if you're going to man up and you're going to play a stand-in, don't just fucking play a stand-in game versus any shitty team. Just fucking go in and play Na'Vi, balls deep. Kill Dendi. Fuck it. Have you ever killed Dendi in an official game? This motherfucker's killed Dendi. Did Dendi kill me? I don't know. They all killed me. So many times I lost count. But did I kill Dendi? Fuck yeah.
But yeah, other than the obvious team, just in a slightly more serious note, because we can't be really serious when we talk about the Cupid Red Pandas.
No. Laughable team.
Empire 2-8 in the last 10 matches. Not doing very well, probably.
Are they even around?
Yeah, they're around, but I mean, we'll probably see some changes with the team because the way they are right now, it's not working. VG Gaming, after doing pretty well before the qualifiers and getting only 3rd place at the qualifiers, which was not enough, of course, to get them to TI, are 1-4 in the last 5 matches, so need to just shake things up. This is not such a huge slump, it's just the last 5 games, but if they just get the things right, they might be able to do better in the next competitions. And one that's not doing particularly bad, but it's kind of surprising after their great performance before, is DD Dota, which is now taken by Quantic, which after doing really well at the qualifiers and being like people were thinking that they were favorites against Mouse Sports just because of the way they did. They're 4-6 in the last 10 games, so faltering a little bit, struggling, but by no means super scary. It's just, as I said before, a thing of regrouping. I'm sure that GoBlack, he's a master drafter. He's an awesome guy at captaining and choosing the heroes. So he will be one of the guys that will be able to take most advantage of the new patch and the new changes. And that's it.
There you have it. Okay. Alright, guys.
Long show.
Long show.
You didn't have the worst here,
But it
right?
was good. So
No, I didn't have the words.
I think that's going to be it for the night, actually, unless we have something else to say apart from the usual
No,
announcements.
I want to just ask Hellspawn, how did he enjoy the show that he came back with? Is it okay? Did we treat you good?
It felt really nice.
Felt like old times.
I enjoyed your Dota segment a lot, actually. You were really into it, engaging.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of looking at the camera, and then at Bruno, and then at the camera. I don't know if you noticed that. It was very piercing.
No, but it was sweet also that I actually could travel with you guys here. It was better than getting the bus.
Because that's where we talked about the juicy stuff that we can't say on the camera.
Exactly. Big stuff.
Oh,
Those. No, but it was really nice to be back. It's I had ups and downs if I can be here or cannot be here. It's hard to manage the time. That's the hard part.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you coming in, and
Thanks.
hopefully we'll get new.
I asked. I think I asked like first day or something last week. It's like, can I come this week? They were like, yeah, you can come.
It's the thing you even asked.
Yeah, not long until DreamHack, so best of luck getting all that organised.
Yeah, but do you have a show next week?
When do we leave? We leave on the 14th.
I think
No,
we do.
we don't.
You should have one because I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be down and build.
We'll have it.
Yeah.
We will.
So
Cool.
we leave on the 14th. We'll have a show on the 11th. Yeah. So
Cool.
and then we're shutting down the studio for good. After
Yep.
that.
No, but then you're going to DreamHack Summer to produce the DreamHack SS Rock Dota 2 tournament.
Yes.
Talk about the Ace interview, the one we haven't mentioned.
What?
Ace interview.
The Ace.
Oh yeah, we haven't mentioned the Ace. There was an interview with King, the CEO of Ace, which talked lots of interesting stuff about how the Chinese organization works. But we'll leave that for next week, I think.
Well, sum it up in 3 sentences or statements.
It's much better than the Western scene in terms of organization.
Okay, that's one.
And the Chinese are very dedicated to their tournaments, their commitments, and the organizations are also doing very well. So that allows for bigger prize pools as well as better tournaments.
That's a lot. We'll ask for one more.
Go IG.
Okay. And at that, thank you for watching The Good Show. And as Semmler mentioned, we'll see you soon. I think we'll be back tomorrow with Full of Steam, where me and Scriff play casual video games. And hopefully you've all tweeted at Sing2X and you've told him what's up. Otherwise it will be my dick, his ass.